All right, we are back out here at Denmark Drone Park. We are picking up where we left off yesterday with the Develop Air Mini. And while it's a bit cold out here and snowing, which I was not expecting, we should be able to do the hardware swap without much of any of an issue. So just installing the antenna on the Develop Air Mini, leave those props in there, have another set of props in the Lesbrew, and then got the hardware we're going to be swapping out. We have a GPS unit, and I think I had a piece of adhesive. I have a piece of adhesive that we'll swap out the current piece of adhesive with. And let's see how well this adhesive sticks in the cold weather. I think we should be more than fine. And it looks like the snow has slowed down a bit. So we just have the GPS unit installed in the top cover here. I'm going to see if I can use my fingers to kind of pry it out. Pulling by the cable, not the best idea. Let me see if I have a little tool that I can use. Don't get any ideas when I say a little tool. Who could have seen this happen, right? Foreseen this happening. I need a tool that I don't have readily available. Here we go. We'll use a key. There we go. Nice. Just like that. Looks like there's a little CA glue adhesive, that residue that got on the wires. Basically the GPS dome is just adhesive to the rest of the top cover using CA glue. And we'll unplug this GPS unit. Just using the GPS 2 port on the side of the Pixhawk. There's no GPS 1. Well, there's a GPS 1 port, but we're not using it. I guess better said. And then just taking off the one side of adhesive, sticking it to the top side of the GPS, the antenna side. You're going to be covering up the one arrow. That's going to indicate which direction it faces, but fear not. There's another arrow on the flip side. And let's take off the adhesive on the other side. Super high-tech drone assembly, right? We used to screw these in, but they're like M1 screws, or they're using like M1.5 screws or something like that. And they just didn't really work all that well. Especially with the clear heat shrink around the GPS unit, unless that's taken off. And just a lot more processing, the adhesive works just as well, if not better. All right, let me untangle this. Set the receiver back in, the radio, the mLRRS radio. All right. It's the final countdown to the deadline. Get this out the door next week, end of next week. All right, let's go ahead, boot up the controller again, just a RadioMaster Boxer. Take off the, I don't know, bra.
Welcome to HTX. Present warning. Yahoo telemetry ready.
And you know what, let's set it out. That way, in case we decide to take flight, let me pick up after myself so I'm not littering. Be the good person, believe it or not, I try to be. Set it up on this wooden block. I just popped open the top cover. The XT30 got pushed in a little bit when I was plugging in the battery, so we'll take care of that, make sure it doesn't come out. That's one of the design changes that is still to be made to make the battery connector hold in place better. All right, we already got the connection on the controller as indicated through the green flashing light. Let me just make sure. Nope, just a spam call. Shocker. All right. Now I'm going over to the Bluetooth settings, and I'm going to forget this device just to kind of streamline the connection process, although ideally, you know, wouldn't have to do that at all. Back over to Wi-Fi.
GPS 3D fix lock.
Look at that, we have GPS as well, as heard from the controller, before we're even in ground control software. So it looks like it was indeed just a hardware unit, a hardware failure. Interested to know why exactly it was problematic, but nonetheless, we worked around it. Sometimes trying to work with a bad GPS is not worth it. You just need to get a good GPS and make it work. All right, let me see if I go into loiter flight mode. All right, I think we should be ready to go. I'm going to switch over to the iVue RC app, which means I'm going to need to disconnect the Bluetooth from my computer and reconnect it. But let me go ahead, hit yes, and then I'm going to disconnect, or forget this device and disconnect. And now, if I go back, going to reconnect. All right. Everyone needs a good GPS in their life, right? Now it looks like we have one. Connect drone, 8.3. Dun, 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 dun. Connect. Maybe. Do I need to try that one? I might need to refresh the port. Going to reload worldsiVue.com/version, and I am going to disconnect here. Nope, don't want AirDrop. Oh my goodness, my hands are not freezing. Looks like just lost one of the cameras. Camera down! Sometimes you got to be a little cold every now and again. It's necessary to get the job done. All right, we're going to try hitting connect again. And why are we not getting a connection? We have used the Bluetooth here before to connect to Develop Air within the iVue RC app, but let me try a dev version. Ooh wee, it is cold. It's as cold as ice. All right, if this does not work, we're just going to fly it in Q ground control. For the purpose of this test, that's all we really need to do. But of course, anytime that we can, I want to use our own software. And when it's not possible, identify the problems why we can't use our own software. And it looks like this Bluetooth connection, at least with Mac and the existing versions of the iVue RC app, not cooperating in the way that they should. All right, and I lied. I'm going to try one more time, but connecting directly through this menu before connecting through macOS. I'm not sure that will work, but let's give it a shot. Pardon my sniffles. Oh, and I almost did exactly what I said I didn't want to do. Connect to drone. Yeah, no. All right, back to Q ground control. And since we attempted to connect in the iVue RC app, it looks like we're going to have to reset permissions here, disconnect from the Bluetooth here, reestablish the connection via Bluetooth here through the Mac operating system. Connect. Holy cow. 2, 3, 4. You know, if we just got this all done ahead of time, we wouldn't have to be so cold, right? No, we're still a week ahead of schedule. Actually, a little bit more than a week. All right, just like that, right? A few seconds later, we're back in Q ground control. All right, we'll take off to 10 feet and just hover there. Oh, you know what? Propellers would help.
Land flight mode.
Disarm.
Motors disarmed.
Propellers help to fly, people. There's chocolate chip cookies down there tempting too. I think those are helpful to fly. All right. After a long-awaited period of time, this Developer Mini will take flight for all of you to see. I know, especially after that last video, it's like, is this Developer Mini ever gonna fly? There's no way that they're gonna be able to fix that GPS issue. And yet here we are, just about ready to take off. And we were going to take off until, you know, our great test pilot forgot to install the props. Kind of important. All right. Let's take off to 10 feet. Show us what you got there, Developer Mini. Oh yeah.
Battery level 1 alert.
Nice and smooth. All right, let's put it into loiter flight mode. I'm gonna put it into altitude flight mode really quick. It's gonna start drifting.
Altitude hold flight mode. Loiter.
Now in loiter flight mode, Forward is forward, back is back, left is left, right is right. Rotate right works, rotate left works, throttle up, throttle down, and then I think I have 5 set to land.
Return to
No,
home.
that's return to
Land
home.
flight mode.
6 is land flight mode. You know, as we discussed yesterday, I didn't forget. All right, well, that's our snow day, not so much snow day test flight of Develop Air Mini. A little cold, but again, like I said, sometimes got to suffer through being a little cold to get the job done, right? So I guess this is it for the video here. You may not see this Develop Air Mini again until we have the spotlight attached to it, ready to go out to its new home. But in any case, this is what you get for $999. A Develop Air Mini, a RadioMaster Boxer controller, one of these, at least for the time being, Condition 1 hard cases. Of course, the case that goes with the RadioMaster Boxer, and then you get a battery charger as well as the battery. So if you have any more questions about Develop Air Mini or any of what we show off in our videos, of course, feel free to reach out directly or leave a comment down in the comment section below. Otherwise, appreciate you watching, and you'll catch me in the next one. Peace.